Hey Leo, I hope you're doing well. This is going to be a general reading for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements. This is for the month of September, Leo. We're going to go ahead and dive right on in and see what we got here for you. What's going on for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements? Did not like that shuffle. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements for the month of September. What do we got going on here for Leo? All right off the bat, we've got a big one there, okay? Good. Love to see that. Hierophant is your overall energy. It feels like you're steadying yourself. Steadying, not studying, but you could be studying yourself as well, I suppose. Number 4 might be significant to you at this time. Typically that, talks about your security, your stability, your safety. I feel like there are 2 things happening here that could be shifting things for you on a big scale. You're starting off with the Tower. This is the big one we were talking about. Don't fear, okay? Some of you, this might involve a Scorpio or an Aries if this might be an ending in a relationship. I feel like somebody's tone is changing with you abruptly. Someone's tone is changing. And you know what? With what's showing up here, I gotta say, Leo, I actually feel like this is a good thing. I feel like someone's tone has gone from like reserved, surface level, unsure. They're moving into a more decisive energy. It seems like they're opening up more. This could be a water sign for some of you. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I was hoping that this would, okay, I was hoping it would focus and it just like gave us gates of heaven energy, super bright, okay? Anyhow, Ace of Cups, water's overflowing from the cup, right? So can talk about emotions overflowing, and that represents all different kinds of emotions, right? So I feel like this person has, like, you've seen certain sides of them that may feel like they've got their guard up, but now I feel like you're about to get a more vulnerable side of this individual. Honestly, with the Hierophant being your overall energy, I wouldn't be surprised if this eventually leads to a higher level of commitment. But the Hierophant is a card that can represent like structure, tradition, the way that things have always been done. This feels like the way that your story has been written is changing with these 2 events here. I feel like there are 2 big shifts that are happening in September that are completely rewriting your story. We'll get to the second one here in a minute. But we have the 4 of Swords showing up next, and we will be clarifying things too. So 4 of Swords is here. This is Jupiter in Libra. Somebody could have that placement, but you don't necessarily have to. But it does often show up as a card of gratitude. It's also clarity. Some of you could be getting clarity in regards to a situation that was maybe stinging a lot in the past. And it almost feels like once this weight lets up and you start to get comfortable with the way that things are, there's some kind of communication that comes in. So almost feels like once you start to release something, communication happens here. So yeah, I mean, I do get that energy. Some of you, it could be from another Leo. Yeah, Capricorn energy here too, but strength is right underneath that. So this is that other event that we were seeing there, because you have two major arcana. Struggling with the placement of my ring light if you can't tell, but I feel like on one hand somebody's tone changes, it's more decisive with that Tower to the Ace of Cups, and then with that 4 of Swords to the Strength card. I also feel like there's some sort of opportunity that comes in. This could be through mail or email. I feel like you're able to secure something. It seems to me like you've waited on this for quite some time. Maybe you started to feel like, well, that's not going to come in. Maybe they pick someone else, and this doesn't feel like a love situation. No, this feels more like, maybe trying to get into school. Hierophant is the overall energy, right? Can represent higher education, higher institutions, things like that. It feels like you're securing something here. It feels like you're being like placed in a situation. It feels like you're being placed in a position of favor. That's the energy I get here, honestly. You have the 4 of Pentacles showing up. I feel like this completely changes the game for you. Both of these things, right? Both of these things, because I feel like you've been very comfortable and vulnerable and open with a person, and then their tone shifts and matches that energy as well. And then we get this over here where it feels like you're securing something that you've been waiting on. But then we get the 4 of Pentacles. What is this? What is this? Because like I'm genuinely annoyed, because underneath this we have the 7 of Cups. It feels like there has been mixed signals, confusion here in a different situation, right? Could be with a Capricorn, maybe somebody who has Venus in Capricorn or Venus in Scorpio. But look, when it comes to this energy here, 4 of Pentacles is holding on to something. Seven of Cups can be confusion, temptation. That's what it is. That's what it is right there, Leo. Somebody's being very tempted, like they're feeling very tempted by you. And I think that it's bringing about this energy of like, I haven't let go, you know, I still think of you. You know, it's giving me that energy. I miss you, right? Haven't talked in a long time. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, how are you? That kind of feels like how it's going to really come through is, hey, how are you? Let's see. How have you been? That's it. That's the one, right? Let's see what we got here for Leo. Yup. Okay, okay. Love that. Love it. Yeah, Leo, I'm really not surprised. I am a little bit though, because this over here is really good, and it just really is, it's serving as confirmation, okay? Because this seems like a person who has a very hard time opening up when it comes to this individual here whose tone is shifting, right? That's the first thing we saw, because you had two major arcana. You had the Tower and the Strength cards. So right off the bat, I was feeling like there are two big shifts happening here for you in the month of September. And then we get the Seven of Wands and the King of Cups clarifying it. Are you kidding? He's got the wand crossed over the heart space, right? So this can be somebody who's very defensive. And why are they defensive? I feel like they've been guarded over their heart for a while. King of Cups is showing up here. And, you know, King of Cups is somebody who feels things on a very deep level. And so I feel like that's the reason that they are guarded over their heart, because they've been, you know, betrayed in the past. Who hasn't, right? But I feel like for this person, they really give with their whole heart. I feel like this is someone who loves really, really hard, and that's why they've had a hard time opening up. And then we get a counterpart to the King of Cups, which is the Queen of Cups. I feel like something is becoming more secure in the month of September for you and this individual, but also for you on a general level, because, you know, you can see her open shell up here, right? She's definitely been thinking a lot about, is this cup closed? You know, is this cup ever going to open? Is this opportunity going to come around? Will I get the job? Will I get into that school, right? It's giving me that energy for some of you where there's been a little bit of a delay and it's starting to concern you. And then we get the Sun, which is literally the happiest card in the deck. It's high vibrations, it's joy, it's new beginnings. And what I love the most about that is that it's your energy. It's a Leo card. So yeah, I really feel that this is rewriting your story entirely here. Now, to clarify this shady Four of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups, we have the Eight of Cups here. So this is someone who walked away. I wouldn't doubt it if this person ghosted. If, you know, they just kind of left you on red, or they didn't open your messages, or, you know, it's giving me that kind of energy here, Leo, where they walked away, but something was missing here, right? You can see the cup missing from this neat stack of cups, right? So I feel like what was missing there was some clarity, was some decency, some truth about why this was happening. And we get the Empress here. I feel like now they're kind of seeing this growth happening with you. They're seeing that you don't really care, you know, and I feel like this person, they may kind of be in a space where they're wanting to test that. They're wanting to see if you genuinely have let go of this. Are they still important? That's kind of really what they need. They need to know that they're still important, that, you know, they still weigh on your mind. You're not giving them that. You're not giving them that, and I think that's making it even harder for them to let go. This feels like somebody who could actually be in your distant past. Like Six of Cups is right here. If they're not in your distant past, then, you know, I do feel like this person has been watching you the whole time. I don't know what their issue is, right? We have the Emperor and the Empress showing up, so counterpart pair, right? So I'm really feeling like this energy over here is where you're headed with, you know, in your love life. It just seems like there's somebody kind of lingering who felt like the two of you were playing this game when you tapped out a long time ago. That's the energy that I get here. So Leo, a lot going on here, a lot going on, but I actually love most of this, you know. I do hope it was helpful or fun or whatever you needed it to be. Don't forget that I do have personals open right now. I have a deal going on. It's a 3-question video reading. It is $25.25. It's a good deal. You get it within 48 hours, okay? And that is going to close on the 29th, August 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So everything's down there if you're interested. But Leo, if this is where we part, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you, and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye.